The Ethiopian highlands, a land of rugged terrain and steep cliffs, sets the stage for one of the most pivotal battles in African history, the Battle of Amba Sel in 1531, where Somali forces led by Imam Ahmed Grand would challenge the power of the Ethiopian Empire.
Two contrasting forces vying for control: the Adal Sultanate, led by the fierce Somali general Imam Ahmed Gurey, and the Ethiopian Empire, under the leadership of Emperor Lebnedengo. Passionately and in such a commanding tone, our journey has brought us here to the heart of our kingdom. Amba Sel is the key. If we control it, we control the highlands and pave the way for further victories.
The route to Amba Sel was marked by strategic importance, as control of this highland pass meant access to the Ethiopian heartland. The contested territories shown here illustrate the stakes of the ongoing campaign. Grand, the commander of the Adal Sultanate's forces, was a visionary leader. Here in his military tent, Grand outlines his strategy to his commanders, emphasizing speed, unity, and the decisive use of gunpowder weapons to breach the Ethiopian defenses.
The introduction of gunpowder weaponry marked a turning point in African warfare. Gurey's adoption of muskets and cannons was not merely tactical, it was a statement of intent, an embrace of modern warfare in the pursuit of Somali dominance.
The Ottomans were instrumental in Grand's success, providing not only muskets and cannons, but also training. In the Ethiopian palace, Emperor Lebnedengo and his generals assessed their options. With an overwhelming threat at the gates, they sought to use the rugged terrain to their advantage, planning defensive maneuvers to slow Grand's advance. Amba Sel, shown here on the map, was a narrow fortified pass. The Ethiopian defenders took advantage of the high ground, while Grand's forces prepared for an uphill battle, knowing that success would mean a breakthrough into the heart of the Ethiopian Empire. The Ethiopian defenders, experienced in mountain warfare, positioned themselves along the cliffs. Armed with bows, spears, and shields, they waited for the advancing Somali forces, determined to defend their homeland. As Grand's forces ascended the steep slopes of Amba Sel, they maintained disciplined formations, relying on musket fire to disrupt the Ethiopian defenses. The battle was fierce, with hand-to-hand combat inevitable in the narrow pass.
The battle raged for hours, with both sides suffering significant casualties. Ahmed Gurey forces, however, gradually gained the upper hand. The disciplined use of muskets and cannon fire created breaches in the Ethiopian lines, forcing a retreat. Ethiopian losses were severe, including key nobles and military leaders, further demoralizing the defenders. The fall of Amba Sel was a decisive victory for Adal Sultanate. It marked one of the most significant Somali-led victories in the Ethiopian-Adal conflict, opening the Ethiopian heartland to further Somali advances. The Ethiopian Empire, facing internal divisions and lacking comparable firepower, struggled to mount an effective counterattack. Recognizing the need to counter Gurey's firepower, Lebnedengo sought support from the Portuguese, hoping the European allies could help turn the tide. The battle was not only a defeat, but a catalyst for the Ethiopian Empire's modernization efforts. For the Adal Sultanate and the Somalis, it was a demonstration of Somali ambition and the effectiveness of modern warfare in asserting regional dominance. For the Ethiopian Empire, it was a sobering realization of the need for adaptation in the face of new military realities. The battle also highlighted the cultural and religious dimensions of the conflict. Ahmed Gurey's forces were not only motivated by the promise of spoils, but by a sense of religious duty. His campaign sought to unify Somali territories under Islamic rule, countering what he saw as Ethiopian encroachment on historically Muslim lands. The Ethiopians, meanwhile, viewed the conflict as a defense of both their sovereignty and their faith. The loss at Amba Sel was deeply felt, not just as military setback, but as a spiritual trial for the Christian kingdom. The victory at Amba Sel emboldened Axmed Gurey's campaign, leading to further conquests in the Ethiopian interior. Yet it also set the stage for an intensifying conflict, as Ethiopian Empire, bolstered by Portuguese reinforcements, prepared to retaliate in what would become one of the most defining conflicts in African history.